welcome to Wise Acres. It's late summer and early fall out here, so the apples are beginning to ripen. Weather's getting cooler, but there's still stuff going on and still growing. And I'm very busy, but it is time to get back in the shop and do a couple of things. So this time I thought I would make a bat. I really like baseball, and a few years ago I was able to go to the Louisville Slugger factory and see how the bats are made commercially. Of course, it's automated, but it's done on a lathe and it's turned, and most of the bats are ash or maple. There's a few that are actually oak, but I don't think I've ever seen one actually in use. And so it seems like a fairly simple thing to do, and I really want to make a good bat that's usable. So what I did was, although I'm a baseball fan and I do own a mitt and a ball, and I play catch with a few people, and once in a while go to the batting cage, I'm not a real expert in bats. So I went and found somebody that's got a few bats, and if you promise not to laugh at the drawing, I'll show you, but I made a drawing of a bat with diameters at different lengths. This is a 32-inch bat. Just don't laugh at the drawing. Thank you. So it's going to be kind of an easy process because I found a place that sells billets. A round piece of ash like this for a bat is called a billet. So it's a good solid piece of ash with no defects in it. Got good grain. So I hope you'll take a few minutes and just watch as I go through the process. Thanks. See you in a bit. Well, here I am with the billet mounted on the lathe. It's going to be a 32-inch long bat. And in my intro, I think I explained that it was a piece of ash. It's actually a piece of maple. Dumb story. I had both a billet of ash and a billet of maple. This is the maple one. I've used the ash one for something else. So I'm sorry about the misidentification before. But here's what we're going to do. I have marked certain places where I need the bat to be a certain diameter. That correlates with the beautiful drawing that I made that's perfectly accurate. It is for diameters. So to do that, I'll measure the diameters with a caliper and a tape measure, and I'll set it up to that. And then I have a variety of tools. The first thing I'm going to use is going to be this tool for cutting into these lines to get to the right diameter. been away from the bat for a while. Press of work, other things that needed to be turned and fixed, and most notably a 4-day power outage. But I want to get this done and send it off to Fort Collins or Denver as quickly as I can. So here we go again. Bat needs a label, right? And so I've come up with a label. This isn't quite the final version. I've got the final version on here. Notice that this is backwards. I printed it in a mirror image so that when it's laid down on the thing, it will, I'm not sure you can see that, it's not backlit enough, that it will print correctly on the thing. And I'm going to be using a heat process to try and transfer the laser toner onto the bat. So let's see if it works. This is my my branding, my wood branding iron. I've got a flat tip on it. I know that it's about 400 degrees. And the trick on this, I've outlined this in pencil so I know where to hit. The trick on this is to apply it and keep it moving so that you don't burn the wood itself. But that's one reason I put pencil marks on here, is I want to see where I have made the marks on the reverse so that I can make sure and hit all the areas that have toner on it. And this should transfer fairly evenly and fairly well. I'm kind of excited to see how it's going to turn out, actually. I think the blue tape has soaked up some of the heat. So we'll see. What you didn't see when I had run out of battery on the camera was finishing the turning on this. Now, when I started this, I had measured some bats and I'd come up with certain points where I wanted it to be a certain diameter, and that was getting kind of cumbersome, so ultimately I eyeballed the shape, and I'm pretty happy with what I came out with. To finish it, and it doesn't have a finish yet on it, it's still raw wood, but I've sanded it down to 240 grit paper, and then I took 4/0 steel wool to it, which gave it kind of a nice sheen. And then what you really do on good wood turnings with good wood such as this maple is I took some of the chips and rubbed them in as I turned it. That adds a little bit of the natural oils to the wood and ensures that it's got a good finish. But is this perfect? No, absolutely not. I did have a couple of places where the chisel caught on what I think are some weak spots in the grain, so there are a couple of catch marks in this bat, but that's another sign that it's homemade, and I hope whoever gets this will appreciate that it's hand carved. By the way, I'm really glad I'm not the Louisville Slugger Company, because I could never afford to sell bats for what they do given the labor that's involved in this. On the other hand, it really is totally about, perhaps 5 hours of labor. And that's a lot of fun to do, and I'll probably do it again. Let's see what we came up with. I have not seen this yet, so you're seeing this with me. Yeah, I've got a little bit to do on the top of the arc. Got a little bit to do on the lettering. I'm going to put this back in place. But I'm excited to see this again. There's the tape coming off, hopefully for the last time. Oh, you know what? I really, really like that. Still a few flaws. But we're going to call that good. That's got a good handmade quality about it, don't you think? So this is the finished bat. A few weeks ago I sat right here at the same time of day, I think, and showed you the billet of maple. Told you I was going to turn into a bat, and this is what we ended up with. But I'm pretty pleased with the result of this. It does have a few flaws into it, but like anything handmade, it's not perfect, and I think that maybe makes it a little better in a certain way. But I prepared this for the auction. I hope that whoever is interested in it bids on it and buys it. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it always makes you think of how you can get runs, making it home runs, as a really good interpreter others in NAI, using a lot of the confidence you should build with working with others.